Okay, welcome to the third of four. You are doing great out there, and particularly there's evidently lots and lots of interest in the coroner's office, so I thank you very much. We were, as before, our candidates have drawn lots, and so we are going to start. Mr. Rudd will give the first opening statement, and then, just like we've done before, we will alternate who answers which questions first. So, Mr. Rudd, 2 minutes.
Thank you for being politically neutral. My name is Dr. Tom Rudd, and I'm a
Would you move
licensed...
the mic over, please?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, you guys just, mic per table, so swap.
Is it working?
Yes.
All right. I'm Dr. Tom Rudd. I'm a licensed physician and surgeon for 30 years in the state of Illinois. I've limited my practice to the specialty of anatomic pathology, clinical pathology, nuclear medicine, and medical microbiology. I graduated from the University of Illinois College of Medicine. I did an internship and residency at Northwestern Memorial Hospital, and then did a fellowship in nuclear medicine at Michael Reese Hospital. I obtained a master's degree in medical microbiology during medical school from Loyola. I was very lucky to get a premier job right out of training with the best pathology group in Lake County that ran the labs at Highland Park and Lake Forest Hospitals. While there, I was director of nuclear medicine, vice chairman of pathology. I was medical director at both institutions in urinalysis, hematology, and coagulation, and also ran the quality appropriateness and quality assuredness committees. I'm running for office to return professionalism to the coroner's office. It has never been run by a pathologist. We will institute a review of policy and procedures, and we will demand that the office is certified by the National Association of Medical Examiners, the premier group that establishes working systems of doing the death investigation properly. We will also insist that the individual death investigators be certified by the American Board of Medical Legal Death Investigators, and I will be truly politically neutral.
Thank you. Mr. Yancey.
Hello, my name is Artis Yancey. I am the Lake County Coroner, and it is an honor and a privilege to be your coroner. A little bit about me: I have a master's degree in criminal social justice from Lewis University in Romeoville. I'm an FBI National Academy grad, Northwestern Police Staff and Command, and Executive Management Program. I was recently appointed to a gubernatorial board, the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board, and I also am a retired police officer, 22 of the most fabulous years of my life with the Washington Police Department, where I retired as chief. What I would like to talk to you today about is some of the positive changes that the office has undergone under my administration over the last 9 months. April 12th, when I took over the coroner's office, I walked into a situation that had been categorized by several people as a ship out of control. I walked into a situation where the staff were very battered and bruised by all of the information that had been put out by the coroner's office. In that time, we have revamped as a team. We have revamped the evidence, property collections. We've offered uniforms for officers for more professionalism. We've grown as a team. We use new computerized tracking systems to assist in case management. We discontinued the ill-conceived policy of not allowing citizens to view their decedents following the coroner's care. We started a preventable tragedy series where we're making the Lake County residents aware of spikes in deaths such as layover babies, suicide, distracted driving, and others.
Thank you. Mr. Newton.
Good afternoon. My name is Steve Newton, and I too join with these gentlemen running for Lake County Coroner. I started my career in public service at the age of 18. Right out of high school, I became a volunteer firefighter paramedic, and I did that for 10 years. In my 9th year of that, I worked with the coroner's office for the first time on a very close basis during the tragedy that took Bob Collins' life, the plane crash at Midwestern Regional Medical Center. It was at that point in time that I realized the coroner's role was a very good mix of my education in criminal justice and fire science, as well as my education and training as a state licensed paramedic. I applied for the office, and a year later was hired as a deputy coroner. I spent 7 years in the office, started in at the ground level, did what the investigators do to this day, and worked my way up through the ranks. And when I was forced out of the office in 2007 by Richard Keller, I was the chief deputy coroner. Not only was I still conducting investigations, but I was also supervising the investigations, supervising the investigators, assisting with the budget preparation in the office and all the other administrative aspects. I feel that the coroner's office has gone downhill in the past few years. I believe that it's on its way to being righted, and I would like the opportunity to be the one that can complete that task of making right what's going on.
Thank you. Mr. Cooper.
Thank you for having me. I'm Dr. Howard Cooper, and I too am running for Lake County Coroner. I've been practicing dentistry in Gurnee for over 20 years, and I live in Bannockburn. I've actually lived in Lake County for over 40 years. In addition to my dental practice, I am on the Disaster Mortuary Operational Response Team, Weapons of Mass Destruction, DMORT WMD. DMORT is a federal level response team designed to provide mortuary assistance in the case of a mass fatality incident. On September 11th, 2001 at 11 a.m., I was contacted by my deputy commander and asked if I could go to New York to identify the victims of the World Trade Center disaster. The following day, my team and I were flown to New York on a C-130 with 2 F-16s by our side. I spent my time in New York working at Ground Zero and the medical examiner's office, and I was there till the end of that month, and then I went back later that year. In 2005, I was deployed with the Weapons of Mass Destruction team and went to New Orleans, where I did body recovery, decontamination, and dental identification of the victims of Hurricane Katrina. I've been involved in forensics for over 20 years, and I've worked with coroners and medical examiners across the country identifying people using their teeth. Once elected, I will make death prevention a priority. This is very important to me, and I believe a very big part of the coroner's office. I want to get into all the county's high schools and talk to the kids about texting and driving, drinking and driving, drugs, alcohol, suicide, and other risky behaviors. I'd also like to bring compassion certainly back to the office. We need to have compassion and respect for the people that are coming into our office grieving. This is the hardest time in their life, most likely. And finally, I want to make sure that all the medical legal death investigators have certification status and take continuing education yearly. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Yancey will take the first question first, but I thought maybe I should interject that the League of Women Voters has always had a policy of not addressing people by their titles. So if we have an incumbent senator, for example, she or he is still Ms. or Mr. So lest you think that I missed the obvious point here of who is sitting up there, we do that in order to simply, I guess, level the playing field. So. And as you know from previous fora here, and as the candidates know, if we have sort of a short and to the point question, they are welcome to use less time. I've also always wanted to know this. Does the coroner need to be a medical doctor? Why or why not? Mr. Yancey.
Traditionally, the coroner's office has not been a medical professional. The coroner's office, by statute, is a law enforcement position. There are a lot more intricacies into the coroner's office than just the autopsy. Investigation is a very vital role in the coroner's office, as well as administration. The biggest aspect of the coroner's office is the administration of the office. We have seen over the last couple of years that leadership and administration is very vital for the coroner's office to continue on the path that we've started over these last 9 months.
Thank you. Mr. Newton.
I would definitely agree with Coroner Yancey in what he states. As far as the statutes lay out, it is a law enforcement office, and that's the way the statutes are. Additionally, a lot of people think that it has to be a doctor, that the coroner himself is doing the autopsies, when in all essence that's not true. The only person that can do an autopsy for a coroner's office is a certified forensic pathologist. Now, the forensic pathologists that do the autopsy are contracted in because even if a forensic pathologist was sitting up here amongst us and elected to the office, per state statute, they could not do the autopsies in this county any longer because of a conflict of interest.
Mr. Cooper.
Obviously, the other two candidates are correct in what the statute states, and it has always been that way, that it is not, does not have to be a medical doctor. Obviously, I feel that having a medical/dental background puts me at a big advantage because in addition to the fact that that we're obviously going to be talking to the pathologists about obviously what happened. We're at a big advantage because I certainly know the body, I know the terms, I know everything about it because I've done autopsies myself in school and later on. So it's a huge advantage to have a degree and be able to talk to the pathologists doing the actual autopsies. Obviously, when we work with law enforcement, we don't have to be a doctor, but we can explain it to them in layman's terms because we have the background to do so.
Thank you. Mr. Rudd.
Let me just put this to you. Why is it that every major city in the United States does not have a coroner system? Why is it that it is a medical exam system? It is because the coroner's office is an antiquated system. It's the days when dog catchers, barbers used to declare somebody dead. It should be abolished. The only reason we have a coroner system is because there's not enough pathologists to run it. Secondly, it is a political job with inherent conflict of interest. You have law enforcement now running it. We have a death investigation right now in North Chicago on alleged police abuse. You have law enforcement studying law enforcement. And what makes it worse is the mayor of North Chicago is endorsing the coroner. This is political. This is wrong.
Thank you. Mr. Newton will take this question first. I've moved it to the top of the stack since it's timely. There's been so much discussion about how counties would be better served with medical examiners instead of elected official coroners. Please comment.
There's been a lot of discussion about the pros and cons versus medical examiner coroner systems. And I believe as we sit here, there's probably some of us that feel differently as well. Medical examiner system is designed for a larger metropolitan area than Lake County, where we're dealing with. We have a lot of different agencies that we can work together cooperatively with. In addition to, for the amount of cases that our county takes in a year, a medical examiner's system is just not cost effective. Why would we be paying 3 pathologists full-time salaries when, as we currently do, and as we've done in the past, have pathologists that are on call, that come in when they're needed? We're not paying 3 full-time salaries throughout the year for them to sit and potentially some days do nothing.
Thank you. Mr. Cooper.
I still believe that we need to give the power to the people. And being able to vote this position in, I think, is really what democracy is about. If the person that's in the coroner's position is not doing a good job, they can be voted out. I think in the medical examiner system, a lot of times it is very political. and political to the point where you can't get the people out of office when they're not doing the job that they're supposed to be doing. So I think that in this system, the people have the power to vote, and that's what they should do.
Thank you. Mr. Rudd?
Let me address a couple issues that was just discussed. If you're a medical examiner, you've heard about Cook County, they say we can't get rid of her. Tony Preckwinkle can't get rid of her. The board can get rid of her for any and all causes. The press has not brought that out. Secondly, it was stated that it's cost efficient to run a coroner's office. That's not true. When I get in, I'm going to petition the board to convert it to a medical examiner. Right now, the coroner's making $125,000, and we're paying forensic pathologists to come do the post. This is a small office, as it was said. You can have one employee doing administration and the autopsies. Obviously, you will have to change one of the laws allowing the office to do autopsies, but if you become a medical examiner and they pass a law making it a medical examiner, you can do both, and you will save $300,000 to $400,000 and not have 3 or 4 people working there. One medical examiner can currently do the workload and the administration.
Thank you. Mr. Yancey?
I think that if we look at Cook County, we've seen a medical examiner's office that has run into a lot of different problems, such as backlogs of deceased. And my staff and I have worked incredibly hard to clear out the backlogs that will be approaching a 0 backlog very shortly. The Office of Medical Examiner, whether it is a coroner's office or a medical examiner, I think that the electoral process is better for our voters so that they can understand what the process that goes on. And I also believe that this type of venue makes for a good exchange of ideas that will make the office better in the future.
Thank you.